last year when Gwen and I took over Edunation, we've been, of course, actively recruiting people to live here, and we're pretty much at capacity, which is great, with schools and individuals from all around the world who are based here now. Right now, actually, I'm also working on a couple grant projects to try and bring in some more islands that I don't have to pay for, which is the best way to go. So I'm working with somebody in my university, which is the University of Illinois, for a grant project that would be through Qatar, because they're interested in doing something which I think Second Life is perfect for, which is telecollaboration. And we would like to, if we get this grant, set up the project so that there'll be some students here from the University of Illinois and some students there in Qatar, and we would be developing 2 new islands for those groups, which would both be connected to Edunation. One with I'm not exactly sure yet what a University of Illinois, Central Illinois theme is. Maybe lots of corn and soybeans, which is what we have all around the University of Illinois, and one Qatar theme. Because that's what I'm very interested in, is the potential, as I'm sure most of you are as well, the potential for Second Life to engage in collaboration that students can't do otherwise. These students from Qatar are not all going to fly over to the University of Illinois for conversation practice, and the same is true going the other direction. So we're interested in developing these sorts of spaces here. One of the things I've been working on since last year as well is to continue expanding on our holodeck offerings here on the island, and those are available to anybody to use. If you live on the island, great. If not, come over and take a look at them on our sandbox, and we have another one in the sky over Edunation 3. Anybody who wants to use those for teaching is welcome to do so. Right now, I think we're up to over 100 different holodeck scenes, and this is the most recent one. This scene right now is partly on Edunation 3, partly on our temporary Edunation 2 island, which is just a beautiful beach down below us. But this scene will also be available in the holodeck at the sandbox on Edunation 2, which is a conference venue right now. And anybody could res this anytime to work with students or groups, or if you're working on a little mini conference, you'd be welcome to come here and talk to us about basing it here. But there's other scenes, of course, in the holodecks, ranging from cafes to movie theaters to castles to we just recently added a haunted house. I didn't make that one, I bought it, but if you're looking for something to do virtually for Halloween, it's a really good haunted house, and that's in the holodeck on the sandbox on Edunation 2. It is terrifying. Beware. Yeah, I kept getting dumped in lava in the haunted house. It was a very painful experience. So I'm interested in continuing to do pedagogical work in Second Life. I'm interested in doing research in Second Life into these issues. Looking for research partners, give me a yell. I'm ready for that anytime. And we've also been talking about the possibility of continuing this kind of strengthening of ties. If any of you have islands and you're kind of out there on your own right now, and you are interested in moving your island over to join this group of islands, I think that would be really great. With the raise in prices, we're very interested in how can we share resources. Are there people now who have entire islands or 2 islands who don't need that and can't afford it, but if they join another island group, we could pool these resources. And in a case like that, I'm always happy to share the holodeck as well. I can put out a copy on an island and just leave it there. So those are some of the sorts of things that I've been working on this year in the never-ending struggle to build stuff. So I guess we can save any kind of questions or anything after everybody else has talked. So I'm going to pass along the virtual microphone to whoever's going next.
Going to be maintained beyond the, hopefully for as long as possible. University will maintain the Ning, or pay the costs of it, and I will remain its owner so people can join that. And please use the website as well. And if there are, it's all created under Creative Commons, so anybody can make use of that. And adapt it and readapt it for their own uses, and then hopefully feed back into the community. But one of the things that we did as part of the project, one of the outcomes that we were expected to achieve was, a broader teacher group, and we have been running the teacher group on a reasonably regular basis. We certainly ran it on a reasonably regular basis up until the summer, and we need to kick that off again, and that's nice to get together. Maybe we try and meet too often at the moment. We're trying to meet twice a month, whereas perhaps once a month would probably be enough. But anyway, it's been going on a reasonably regular basis, and we also have as part of a broader consortium, we now have another project called Euroversity, which is a broader project than just about languages. It brings in, basically, we met as part of that project, we met quite a lot of people involved in teaching in virtual worlds, not just in Second Life, but also in OpenSim and other spaces as well. And we also met people from different age phases as well. So people working with children in schools, some of whom who were working on the Team Grid, some of whom who were using OpenSim. And we also met people who were training in other subject areas, so doing work with, we have one group working with artists and another group working in more sort of general education. And so we brought those people together into another project, which is basically trying to explore building a series of courses across the European Union in a number of subject areas, and spreading the community. So we'll hopefully be doing some more work in terms of promoting what we do, but also having meetings and trying to broaden the community. So it fits very nicely into the kind of areas that Randall has talked about. As that develops, I'll hopefully be able to announce more about that, and other colleagues who may be in the audience here might be able to say a bit more about it as well. But this is the obvious opportunity to work with people across the pond, as we like to say, and so maybe we can look at ways that we can collaborate with universities in the States as well, and build it into something much bigger. So that's about all I want to say. So please have a look at the avalonlearning.eu website, and please make use of the materials and join them. And if you, we also have an island that's still there for people to make use of. So it's space there. And I've also talked briefly to Randall about the idea of doing more collaboration. So that's definitely possible. Okay, I'll stop there.
I don't know what Eurocool is. You can find out more. I'll pop up the URL here. It's a professional association that was initially set up by a group of enthusiasts in 1986, and then it was put on an official footing with the aid of EU funding in 1993. We collaborate very closely with our sister association in the United States, Calico, and I'm putting up the URL for them now. And in recent years we've collaborated in Second Life. Before the islands on Education were reorganized, that is in October last year, Calico and Eurocool had separate buildings on Education 3, and then we decided that after the islands were remodelled it would be a good idea to set up a joint headquarters, and I'm giving you the slurl for that now. I'll be speaking a bit about the headquarters on Education 3 on Sunday afternoon, no, Sunday at noon British Summer Time, 11 AM Greenwich Mean Time. We've just had a very successful Eurocall conference at the University of Nottingham, and I was delighted that there were several presentations on Second Life. There were at least half a dozen that I was aware of and attended. May have been one or two more, but it's obviously a growth area, and as a reflection of the growth area, Eurocall and Calico set up a joint virtual world special interest group, and we have a NING, which I'm pasting in at the moment. That's the URL I'm pasting in chat, and we try to collaborate on a regular basis. It's a bit ad hoc. Randall and I often show people around the HQ, usually small groups, and I have run workshops mainly for beginners since 2008. At each Eurocall conference I've run a beginners workshop, which is my area of speciality. I've written quite a bit about Second Life. I maintain a website which some of you might know called ICT for LT. I'm pasting in the URL now, which was set up over 10 years ago. It started in 1999 and finished in 2000 as an EU-funded project, but it's been kept going ever since. And the biggest growth area is in the section on computer-mediated communication, which is section 14.2 of module 1.5. You can go direct to that URL if you click on this URL. If you click on the URL I've just pasted in, that is section 14.2.1, and there you find a lot of information about Second Life, including a downloadable Word document, which is an introduction to Second Life for beginners. It's in Word format, but if you view it on screen, there are lots of live links to YouTube videos and other sites. And I'll keep it updated, which in the present state of Linden Lab, it's a full-time job almost, because they keep tweaking the viewer, and you think you've sorted something out, and then you find they've changed something. So that's mainly what I do. I am actually a retired teacher, so I have plenty of time to sort of float around in Second Life and explore interesting places, which I love doing. I used to teach German up to degree level, and I taught French for a few years in secondary education. Both languages are a little bit rusty, as I don't use them every day now, but I get around okay. That's about it. That's about all I want to say at the moment. I hope some of you will come along to the presentation on Sunday.